Hello and welcome to another Division 2 video. Yes, I spent the last days leveling up this new character in the Division 2, and for sure I just wanted to share with you all my experience and learnings so that you have a smoother experience probably, and to help you out a little bit level up faster if you want. So for sure you don't have to do this, so my goal was for sure to level up solo as fast as possible, and as I said, I wanted to share with you my experience and how you can do this by yourself pretty easy as well. So let's get right into it. And I will talk quickly about the build as well, what you have to look at it. But at the moment, yeah, it seems to be a little bit more complicated as in the Division 1, but we will find it out soon. So until I have the right gear pieces, I can't do that much build videos. It wouldn't make that much sense, but I'll give you a brief overview what you should have a look at if you level up. So let's get right into it. Where you start after you've started the game, you go to the Quartermaster Master, and then you can unlock some skills. So for me personally, I tried out pretty much every skill we have right now. Some I like quite a lot, some I don't like too much. So the ones I would recommend, especially if you run solo, as I said before, is the Cluster Seeker. They do a pretty good job. The damage is pretty high as well. So this is one of the first ones I would unlock if I were you, especially if you play solo. The ones here, for sure, they are not too bad as well, but the Cluster Seekers are kind of crowd control as well, because they go to every target near you. So this is a really awesome one to start. The second one, where we were just able to try in the game, in the live game right now, not in the betas, but I like this really a lot, is the Hive, the one here, the Stinger. So the Stinger, for me personally, it's kind of like the new Sticky Bomb. The damage is pretty nice, and you have crowd control as well. So if you place it near you and the guy tries to rush you, like this hyena in the back, then you are pretty safe, because yeah, as I said, especially if you level up, the damage is pretty nice. So these two skills I was using for my whole experience, and yeah, if you want to watch this, then you can check out my Twitch streams. They're still uploaded and you have the chance to watch them now as well. So it would be not that I don't know what I'm talking about. It's on Twitch, so if you want to check it out, then just go there. And otherwise, we're gonna continue. So these are the two skills I was leveling up my whole process, and I like them quite a lot. The one which is useful as well for me personally is the the drone. The healing drone is pretty nice too. Yeah, it repairs the armor. It needs a little bit of time, but actually it works pretty well. So these three skills for me personally are the best ones. Still, after all the time I played right now, these are really the best ones. The ones I don't like at all is the Firefly. That's why I haven't unlocked everything of them, but I can do the next one, so it doesn't matter too much. I anyway get everything, but this one I don't like too much. Then the Pulse, it's not too good as well in my opinion. I don't like the Turret, not too much as well, and otherwise the drone, the assault drone, could be nice as well to have a little bit a disruptor for the NPC, and you have time to shoot them. But as I said, to sum it up, I would go for the Cluster Seeker and the Hive. The one here, the Ringer Hive, they work really well in my opinion. Just try it out for yourself, but this I can really recommend. Then the perks. So if you start, for sure, the first one to get for me personally is the Weapon mod, and where's the other one for the second skill? There should be another one as well. These are the most important ones. After this, I would go for the armor kits. Yeah, because I had 2 damage skills. The armor kits were my only healing resource as I was leveling up, but it worked pretty well, because just have in mind, the healing is anyway pretty slow, and if you're in an urgency, then you have to put armor kit anyway. So then it's really good to have more of them with you, in a total of 6. So as soon as possible, I would unlock them. Then the next one I got is this one here, restock armor kits, and grenades is an additional one. It's really good to have as well in my opinion. So every time you enter a safe space or a safe spot, not a safe spot, a safe place, then the armor kits get restocked, otherwise they won't. So these are the most important ones for me. Second weapon, then the second skill, the armor kits and the automated restock. After this I unlocked as well the increased XP bonuses, which is pretty hard to find if you have them already. It's this one here. So just, it's not that much, but at least a little bit, so you can level up faster if you have them, because you gain more XP while killing NPCs in the head and something like this. So this works really well, and especially the tactical kills. If you use the skills I recommended to you, then you get quite a lot of them, and the multiple kills as well. So this works really well in my opinion. The next one I got was the inventory, so I didn't have to have a look in my backpack that often. I just could grab everything, and after I did a couple missions or something, then I was checking my inventory. And if you have a bigger backpack space, it's just huge advantage in my opinion. And then it's up to you. I unlocked as next the weapon mods, but as I said at the beginning, for me personally, it's not the most important one. So this is for this one at the moment. Then let's have a look at the gear. As you can see on the middle screen, I have a gear score currently for 551. It's 34, so the max one you can reach at the moment. The fifth one is on the map as well, but it's not unlocked right now. So it's this one down here, and here you need to have a gear score as well. And I have much more, so I would be pretty good prepared to do this as well. But why I'm talking about this one here, because as soon as you reach level 30, you have requirements to go to the strongholds. So the first one, if I have it right in my mind, it's around 195, something like this. And then you need to find better gear for sure. But while leveling up, so the most important thing is the one on the left top side on the screen, not the character on the other half. So you see the score in the middle, and you see three signs. The battery, the yellow one, is all the skill related things on the build. Then the armor, the blue one, is all the things that are related to your toughness, let's say like this. And the bottom, the red one, is the firearms, the previous one. So if you want to compare it to before Division 1, then skill power yellow, the blue one is toughness and health, and the red one is firearms. So if you have a look on your gear pieces, then you see as well you have some brand sets, and brand sets are always better, let's say like it is. So just go for the brand sets, and then you see the stats on the top and the attributes on the bottom. And the attributes, there are 2 times armor, or armor, like you see here. So you increase your toughness, and firearms on the bottom as damage to elites on this one here as an example. And this is important to have in mind for the future, but not when leveling up too much. So what you should have a look at is at the beginning that you have as high amount of armor as possible. In my opinion, health is really not that good in this game at the moment. As soon as the armor is gone, then you're pretty much dead pretty soon. So in my opinion, it doesn't matter if you have 60,000 health or 100,000, it doesn't matter too much. Armor, it's just the way to go at the moment in my opinion. So just equip everything you find that increases your armor at first. And the next one, for sure, you should have a look that you can increase the weapon damage of your choice. So for me personally, I like LMGs a lot, especially in the Division 2. That's why I try to find gear with increased LMG damage as well. So this is another one. And if you see the attributes here, there are 4 of them. So 2 times is skill power, skill related ones, 1 toughness and 1 firearms. And this one gets important later in the game, because as you can see right here, skilled is not unlocked for me at the moment, but you see their skill kills have a 25% chance to reset skill cooldowns. For skill build, this is actually really awesome, but it requires that I have 6 talents on the gear. I have 2 of them on the backpack here, but I would need 6 of them all over my gear to unlock this talent. So this is a little bit different than before, but as I said, don't care about this one when you level up until level 30 or even World Tier 1 to 4. This is something you should have in mind after. And you should not, as I said, don't spend too much time figuring out at the moment. But as you see, I have not enough to unlock this. But if you have a look on the gloves, here I would need 4 firearms ones, and I have actually 8. So on this build I have a lot of firearm stats. And yes, I have unlocked this talent. It's really nice too. Weapon damage to status affected enemies is increased by 10%, so you get a lot of really decent stuff on the gear as well. And there are so many options, I can't believe it at the moment, and that makes it pretty hard to make a decent build. And as you see right now, it's really mixed. I have not two of the same gear pieces, but if you would have, then you see on the right side, brand set 1 out of 3. So as soon as you have one, you all unlock already one talent, the first one. If you have a second one, then I would get the turret skill power. It's not that good for me because I don't run turret. The third one would be pretty nice for sure, cooldown reduction 10%, but therefore I have the one here, the brand Summit Alp Summit brand, and here I have cooldown as well. So just try out for yourself. But as I said, when you level up, have a look at armor. So everything that increases the armor, as you see, this one is actually pretty good, because on the right side I have a decrease on almost all of them. So check the armor and have as high amount of armor as possible, and then check the gear pieces for the weapon damage of your choice. And as further as you go in your progression, then you should have some damage to elites as well. So this is a really huge modifier too, and it's an important one as well. Almost the same for the weapon. As you can see here, they have different stats as well, and it requires here as well 5 firearms ones. I have actually 8, so much enough to unlock this one here. It's insane, 50% weapon damage for 5 seconds, not that long for sure, but 7 meters, yeah, you can kill NPCs or even players within the range, and then 50% more damage. That's pretty huge, but it's hard to maintain for sure. But yeah, the weapons, just try out and take the one of your choice. Then the next on the last part for the weapons and the gear, as a recommendation, you see the score on the top right side. So I would recommend you, because this is a little bit different to Division 1, always equip the one, almost always as you can see here, but further in the game it doesn't matter too much, but always equip the one with the highest gear score, because then you can see the score in the middle, which is now 451, then this one increases as well. And it depends on this gear score what type of drops you get. So the higher your gear score, the better the drops you get. And this continues on and on and on. That's why you see here, I got all the time I get better gear as soon as I equip the higher scores. So always go for the higher armor and the weapon damage type and the highest stat here from the score perspective. Then you should be pretty good when you level up. So this is the thing you have in mind for this one here. And after you reach level 30 and you can unlock the final stronghold, then you have a needed gear score for the first invaded mission, where the ones you get, 6 of them, and you can level up 3 times, so from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, and 3 to 4, and you have to do 2 invaded missions for each, and then a stronghold. And for the stronghold, you always have a recommended gear score, or a minimum amount of gear score, and if you are on lack of some certain gear, I can really recommend you, and you can do this while leveling up as well, go into the dark zone, because in the dark zone you have normalized stats, so although your gear is not too good, you get usually better drops than outside. So what for me personally, do I have something right here at the moment, the open world supply drops, they don't have this one here, you don't get that good gear out of it in my opinion. So it's not that the best way to do in my opinion. So if you want to get better gear when you struggle leveling up, I would just go quickly into the DC, open up the caches. You saw probably already a video or did it by yourself while you were testing out the beta. This is for me still the best way to get better gear. At the beginning, after you reach the spot where I'm right now, then you can do pretty much everything and you get pretty decent gear anyway. But while leveling up, going into the DC is a really good way in my opinion as well. So this is already it for the moment for leveling up. Just a couple tips at the end, and you see always the levels here as well. They're gone for me because now it's everything 34, but when you level up, just check the recommended levels and do all things on the map. So clear every control point, clear the question marks. The more kills you get, the more XP you get, and then you should be fine. So if you reach the minimum amount and you have pretty good gear as well, which reaches the amount as well, then you should be pretty fine to do it solo as well. So I was able to reach World Tier 1 within around 22 hours, and I struggled sometimes too. So failing is a no point of finishing, and yeah, you will die if you don't adapt your playstyle. I rushed too hard, too often. I was trying to face tank the NPCs and I got smacked pretty hard, and yes, it's a learning process. So if you die, don't bother about it, just continue, do it again repeatedly, and you should be fine. So this is it for the moment, and if you're interested, I just show you quickly two things that are important as well. Something while leveling up you should have a look, and this one here too. So on the projects, for every area you have some projects. They're usually pretty easy to get, and most of the time you get a blueprint to craft a weapon attachment. Especially later in the game they're getting really important, and that's what I would have a look as well. So check the projects here on the top on the map as well, and do them if you can. They're usually not too hard, so feed the control points and stuff, and you can do this actually here straight from the map too. So you can see view donations on the bottom side. I don't have anything here to donate, and then you can donate it straight right here from the map. This is one important thing. And the next one, as soon as you get the blueprints, you can go to the crafting table, go to the mods, and then you can craft everything if you have the needed materials. So you need the carbon fiber and steel to craft these ones here, and yeah, they're really important, especially later in the game. I haven't got all of them. Okay, funny. Can craft it later, just figure it out right now. So always check this one here as well. And while you progress up, you can unlock some certain characters, and then you can rearrange, or what's the name, recalibrate the stats on your gear. This works different as well. So if you level up, I would recommend don't care about it. Look at it later in the game when you reach World Tier 1 or even World Tier 4, and just quickly to demonstrate it to you. So now you need to, now you can change one stat. So this is not different to the Division 1. It's not classified gear, so you can't change two. You can always just change one of them. You can choose which one, and for the weapon here you need the same weapon category, weapon type, as you can see. And then I could switch it up for this one here, and you see destroy and transfer. So if I would do it right now, I would destroy the previous weapon and the talent transfers to the other one. So this works for the weapon here. And for the gear, as you can see, if I would like to re-roll a stat on the backpack, and as you can see, I can just re-roll the stats below. The brand sets are always the same one, so you can't change the one above, just the attributes. And if I would like to change an attribute, it's the same way, but here you can change it with every weapon, every stat on every backpack, but just here with the firearms one. So I can just change a firearms stat to another firearms stat, or a health toughness stat to another health toughness stat, as you can see right now, to armor or health. That's it. And here the same. So if I would recalibrate this one here, destroy and transfer. So the old backpack got destroyed and transfers to the new one. This gets important, as I said, if you reach World Tier 1, then I would definitely stick to the stuff you get. So if you get decent stats on purple gear already, pretty high ones, then we'll just stay with them or put them in the stash for later. I did the mistake, I deconstructed everything, or I sold, I don't know. You know what I mean, I guess. I sold everything I got to get money and buy some new gear, but that was actually the wrong way, as I figured out later, because I had some really decent stats there as well, and I couldn't use them anymore. So that's an important thing too. And before you sell them actually, and before you deconstruct them, always check the projects, because for some of them you need to spend some of your gear too. And then it's pretty good to have some of them and spend them. and you get pretty decent stuff as a reward out of them. So this is the most important things at the moment I figured out while leveling up, and for sure I try to leave you up to date. And yeah, at the end, this one here, psst, don't tell anyone about this, so that you can reach level 30 in World Tube 4 faster than the others. No, just kidding. So thank you really a lot for watching that far. Thanks a lot for your comment, for your likes. It really helps me a lot. And have fun leveling up. I think Division 2 is really an awesome game, especially from the PvE perspective. I haven't tried PvP yet, because yeah, my main goal is first to have some new builds and pretty decent gear, and I have to continue grinding, and as soon as we're able to get to World T5 for sure, change to World T5, and yeah, then it really matters, because then you can stick to the gear, otherwise you have to search everything new. So now it's really the testing phase, so test everything out, test every skill for yourself and figure out what works for you. As I said, I hope this was useful for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for your likes, and see you in Washington. Have fun, take care, and bye bye.